It's 2:04. This is a regular meeting of the Lodging Tax Advisory Board. I call the meeting to order. Can we do roll call?
No.
Ashley.
Here.
Joe.
Here.
Chris.
Chris.
Here.
Okay. Well, I guess I said. Oh, Jason.
He's not here yet.
No.
And Amanda.
Amanda. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. First item is the approval of the agenda. Does anybody have anything that they would like to change on the agenda? Sorry if you didn't get a chance to look it over, Chris.
I did look.
Oh, did you? Great. Any changes to that?
No changes. I want to add requesting gas mileage if I'm working while I'm driving. So.
I wish. You get the same rate we get paid for having the meetings.
Okay, great.
I just need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the agenda.
And the second?
Second.
All in
Second.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next is approval of the minutes from our last meeting.
I don't have them. Sorry about that. I need to watch the recording. I didn't know that Desiree was gone. I emailed her last week to ask about a recording and the possibility of go-to meeting
She
having.
didn't put the notes in there. I asked her to take notes.
Oh, you know what? 9:26.
Okay, I was gonna say the notes were put into the share drive.
There's notes. Sweet.
Yes, I was
That's
like,
awesome.
Jay, you weren't here, so I was like, can you do it this time? She
Thank
said
you.
yes.
Appreciate
No
it.
worries, yes. So we just approved the minutes from last meeting. I'll let you look over that.
I motion to approve. Couldn't tell you if they're good or not. So yeah, I'm sure they're great.
I second.
Awesome. I'd just like to make note that Jason Decker has arrived, so Jason is marked as present. Hi, Jason. Alright, so we just approved, all in favor of approval of minutes?
Aye.
Alright, sorry Jason, jumped in right in the middle. Old business, first up is updates from DIU.
She's muted.
Hey, Lindsay, you're muted.
You're muted, sorry. There she is.
Okay, sorry. For some reason it wasn't unmuting. And let me share my whole screen here. Not allowing me to share my whole window. Let me do
Of course.
tab. I wonder if I can choose multiple tabs. No, let me do a entire screen. It's not letting me do that either. Okay, well, we're gonna be clunky. So, all right.
Oh, there she
Oh,
is.
there
Let
we
me
go.
know when you
There we
can.
go.
We got it.
Yeah, great. Okay, so we're going to look at data in September versus August of this year. Typically in travel, when we get into September, especially when we're looking at website traffic, we tend to see a little bit of a decrease just because of seasonality. I'm really happy to report that not only did we not see a decrease, we saw a small increase in the total website users in September compared to August. So I would have been happy with even a 2% decrease, but to see a small increase was great. A majority of the increased traffic came from your direct traffic and your paid social traffic. So, so your paid social has been great for one, but more interestingly, if folks are visiting your website directly, and we're seeing kind of increase in traffic in that, then people are getting to know your website and they're recognizing it and they're remembering it and they're going right to it. So that kind of falls in the category of brand awareness. We're getting your name out there. People are revisiting the website, so we love that. I'm just going through some like high-level stuff right now, and then we can look at the full report. Your paid social ads, we enacted the new ad strategy where we're running ads with single images as opposed to carousels or reels. My personal thoughts on that is that those carousels and reels tend to cost a little bit more to run them. They're a single ad, so one person is seeing just that one ad. But if we have an ad that's just a single image, it will cost less to run it. And then if we have 4 rotation, your visitors are seeing 4 different images. And I think that as a response, they're engaging with that. They are thinking they're seeing something new, or they are in fact seeing something new. So as a result, we saw a 13% increase in link clicks and a 13% in click-through rate. So that was a great strategy. We'll continue to run with that for a little bit until that tires and we want to try something different, of course. Just something that's really interesting that I noticed in your data, and again, we can look at the more detailed reports, but the fastest growing demographic on your Facebook account is a very young demographic, ages 13 to 24, and we're seeing a roughly 35% increase in follower growth from that younger demo. Off the top of my head, I think about 25% of your Facebook traffic or audience is based in Trinidad, which is a high number. But not surprising for Facebook. Facebook tends to be more local focused. So my initial reaction was that it's locals that want to know what's going on and are finding the tourism page useful to see what's going on locally. But then if you look at your Instagram demographic, half of your Instagram demographic is also local. So both of these social pages can be used as great tools to communicate with your community, get the word out on things that are happening locally, or maybe thoughts about tourism, or get them enthusiastic about tourism, what tourism is doing for them. They're there. They're a large part of your audience. So just something to consider as we move forward. And I think it was Ashley, was it you or Amanda? It might have been Amanda who asked me about the Skateland ad, because we held on to it and didn't launch it until recently, probably the start of September we launched it, because it was an indoor activity and we kind of were saving that for the colder months. And it's currently, I believe, the second most popular ad. So it's getting a lot of traction. We love that. It's a local business. It's a unique business, something that not only caters to locals, but also to visitors. So I'm really happy to see that. Anybody have any questions before I jump into some details?
Nope, you answered my question.
Oh, I did? Okay, good. I'm getting pop-ups on my browser from GoToMeeting. Let me put my glasses on, forgive me. Okay, can you hear me okay? It's telling me there's an issue with my mic.
All good here.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can...
I'm in New Mexico, Lindsay. I hear you fine.
You're in New Mexico. I want to be in New Mexico.
Well, I'm actually between Raton and Clayton,
So not too far from home.
No, I'm driving. That's what surprises me, that I got this meeting and I'm driving.
Okay. Oh, I can now share my windows. I can bounce between tabs a little bit more easily. Okay. Let's go to the full Trinidad report. So this is where I'm pulling some higher level numbers. This is your user count. Your conversions are up. Engagement rates are down a little bit. Again, we're heading into the off season, so when I see decreases that are less than 10%. I don't really worry about it too much. It's seasonality. Folks are not traveling as much once we get past Labor Day. But I do like to see that total user count up. The next tab is our Google Ads. Let's wait for that to load. Okay, well, that did. Okay. So we're seeing a little bit of a decrease here, Google Ads. Let's jump into the report and just see what's going on with that. And I'm sure that Sam has a good explanation for it. Oh, that's the wrong report. Okay, so you still got 544 clicks in September. Okay, so you did see a decrease in your click-through rate. But you decreased from 26% click-through rate to a 15% click-through rate. A 26% click-through rate in July and August is insanely high. Very, very good. I've mentioned this before, benchmark in travel is 4.6%. So if you're leveling out in September at 15%, even though it's down from July and August, I'm not going to worry about it. 15% is still an excellent click-through rate. Again, we're still seeing visitor type keywords in the top search keywords. Outside of those city terms, I highlighted this because I think this is interesting. Folks are really searching for Trinidad Lake State Park keywords. So, you know, maybe something we start doing, and it could be in our 2025 budget, is start writing some new content for the website. Like a monthly blog or an article to increase SEO. And the reason we do that is if folks are searching for Trinidad Lake State Park, our website will show up higher in the organic search results. And within that copy, we can provide links to other businesses in town or other activities and give people kind of an itinerary, if you will, of all the things they can do outside of the state park. So maybe they plan to come to the state park, they land on one of our articles, and they learn, oh wow, there are days of activities that we can do in Trinidad, and we should maybe plan a longer stay. And also get out of the park and get into town and spend some money. So but that's something to take into consideration. 65% of your clicks in Google Ads came from Colorado, 35% came from Texas. If you recall, last month it was more evenly split. About half were coming from Colorado and half were coming from Texas. And this makes sense. Texas is a longer drive for the most part, and more of a summer trip or a longer trip, a longer planned trip. So to see the drop post Labor Day, I think that's not a surprise either. Okay, let's jump to, let's look at what's going on with your meta ad notes. Okay, so your event carousel has improved. You have a cost per landing page improved by 20%. Which allowed for 83 additional landing page views for the month. We have turned this campaign off as of the start of this month since the events have slowed down a bit. If there are other big events that arise, rather than doing a carousel, we'll likely give them their own ad. You know, for sure Winterfest will be one, but if folks want to submit a marketing request support form, we can likely put an ad together and get it into the rotation here. So we do the carousel and we have lots of events that we need to cover, and we can't give everybody their own post because we just don't have the budget for it. So the carousel is a solution for that. But as we get into the slower months, we don't need to do that. The general traffic campaign down here, which again, we're looking for landing page views. These are those single image ads I was telling you about. So we got 19 more landing page views this month because we had a lower cost per view. And the roller skating was really popular with the lowest cost per result at just 19 cents. So I love the addition of that. Again, it, kind of I would categorize Skateland as like a vintage skate experience, which really plays well into the whole Trinidad brand, or at least how I see the brand. So I love that that's doing well. So, and we'll create, as some of these start to stale, we'll start rotating in different images, and then we can also do more seasonal images. Kind of share the things that we can do in the winter. So I just really like this whole strategy. It's doing really well. Let me pull up the social media report. So we have a new social media, organic social media manager. She is doing an amazing job. I've been really pleased with the work. She's extremely professional. You'll see, I'm going to scroll through her data report. It's very, very thorough. She's creative, she's organized, and then she's also coming to Trinidad herself, and she's shooting photos and videos. So she has plans in her mind, reels and strategies before she even goes to shoot. So she has a complete picture from start to finish, and you can see it in the kind of the quality of her work. Let me pull this. So because this is like a 30-page report, I'm going to go scroll through it pretty quickly and just show you some highlights. So we see visitor or followers are up in both Facebook and Instagram. Just a little bit in Facebook, close to 1.5%, but almost 10% in Instagram, which is fantastic. I'm going to go to where she doesn't combine them. She does individual. Here we go. Can everybody still see my screen?
Yes.
Thumbs up? So community growth, this is Facebook, 1.5% growth in followers. She posted a bit more content this month than last month, a little bit over 15% more. So we're going to see, here's that follower growth, and then the content here. You can just see, like, what I like is the posts are spread out a little bit. Here's your growth in followers the last 12 months. This is when we were able to start tracking it. So it's steady. It looks like it's probably about 1.5 each month. I think I'd like to see it a little bit bigger, but as long as we don't see a drop, I'm okay. Increase in number of impressions, increase in number of reactions, 17% increase reactions, 25% increase in impressions. Oh, a nice big leap there. These are the statistics I was talking about with your age group growth. So here, 13 to 17 years old plus 35, 18 to 24 plus 32, 25 to 34 plus 38. We always say that Facebook is for the older generation, and in Trinidad it does not seem to be the case, that you're getting traction with younger audience, which is really great, because now if you want to garner enthusiasm by kind of the younger folks in town, this is a great place to do it. If you want to increase your kind of your name in outdoor adventure, this is an audience that can help you do that. That's not to say that these older generations, I'm in this green box. I love to be outdoors, and I could be a proponent of that, but it's really fun to see these young folks outside and playing hard. So and really sharing what you're doing. So I do really like to see that. Let's see what else is good on this that we want to look at. Impressions, content, we kind of looked at that. This is starting to repeat some data. Okay, so she breaks down posts versus reels. Your posts, which are images, you have an increase in engagement of 60%, interactions are up 40%. So we're seeing some really good numbers there. Reactions are up 77%. Here are some of your top posts. So this one did really well. This is the pictures of the History Museum. So that garnered 357 clicks on just that one post. We love that, with over 21 engagements, almost a 2,500 reach. So compared to some of these others, it went a little viral, I'd say. But following after that, we did get this, Jason, we did have this after Rad Party, 988 impressions. That's good. Okay. And then Reels. Reels are the videos that are created, increase in engagement, 60%. Fewer interactions on this. So people may just be watching them, but they're not interacting with them. Likes are down a little bit. I wonder if she just posted fewer reels than last month. Let's see if she has that. That comparison. I do not know. Does she have impressions? Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time looking through that right now because we've got a lot to cover. I really like this statistic that Ashley includes here, the total time watched. So if you start adding up how much of our reels that folks are watching in a month, we're like several hours worth that people are watching these reels. So this top one, just a small town with big main characters. She's just exploring downtown, so over 4 hours. It was watched for a total of more than 4 hours. So that's pretty neat. Followers at almost 10%. We talked about that. Okay. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Okay. It's about a third of your audience. Sorry, I was thinking it was half. About a third of your audience from Instagram is from Trinidad. So again, if we have, it's a fine line when you're on a tourism account. Traditionally, I've always said, well, it's for your out of city visitors or your out of county visitors, depending on who the client is. And in the last year or so, I'm finding more and more the importance of including your community within these accounts, keeping them in mind, making them feel like they have some ownership in everything that's coming out. That it's, of course, we want to represent the location well, but make it a space for them to get the information of what's going on and how they can participate in some of the local events or maybe support local businesses. So I want to keep them in mind as we build these posts. Here we start seeing a little bit, people are not jumping over to the profile. So we're going to ask Ashley to add some more calls to action, either promoting our link tree or to which you have to get to in the profile, just to increase this number and make that positive growth. Reach is down. I'll have to ask her what we can do to increase that, if it's just the number of posts and reels, or maybe some settings. Okay, so the reach of posts, published posts is up. I'm not too sure why she's repeating this information here that we just went over, so forgive me. So if she were here, she could go over this probably in better detail than me. And then she also includes a rank of hashtags. So it looks like Colorado hashtags do really well. She has some Trinidad hashtags in here as well. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with what Ashley's doing. She's still very new, and what she wants to do is get a few months of data under her belt to really assess what sort of changes she's going to make. In the meantime, she's in Florida now. She's taking care of her grandmother because of the hurricanes, but she's back in town on Sunday, and I think she's coming straight back to Trinidad to shoot some more footage and take some more videos and photographs and start fleshing out the next month's worth of content. That was a lot. Does anybody have any questions? That's a lot for me too. Social media is not my area of expertise, so I'm always learning when I have folks like Ashley give me and start of data, but it's good.
Yeah, I think it's solid.
Okay.
I'm curious about, talked a bit about breakdown of like inside town versus outside town and the growth with the younger demographic in particular. Basically cross-referencing those, but it's not really important. That's just me wondering about. So it's like, are those young people, are they all within Trinidad? Like, is that where that growth is coming from? Which is kind of what I would expect.
Again, this is not my area of expertise, so I can't tell you for sure that we can do it, but 99% sure I'm sure we can.
Yeah,
right?
I think that is in the reporting, but it's
age demo and Trinidad.
Yeah, it's really not vital. It's got me wondering,
No problem. Okay. Let's go back to this. Okay, so each month I dive deeply into your analytics, and I look at all sorts of data, and I like to grab things that I just think are really interesting. And so what I'm looking at here is month-to-month data, and this is organic Google search impressions. So folks are searching for terms organically on Google, and these are the landing pages that are showing up organically and that they're clicking on. The reason I brought this up is because if we look month to month, we see that the businesses and the events are getting traction and being supported. So the lodging landing page traffic is up 20%, the shopping is up 100%, and the events are up 30%. So those are not ads, we're not paying for this traffic. This is the information on the website, related to the things that people are searching for, and it kind of matching, if you will. I know that some businesses feel like they're not getting supported, or the lodging feels like they're not getting supported. So this is just one tiny piece of the puzzle that says, people are looking for you. Our website is feeding some information. And the last month we saw this increase. After I pulled this screenshot, it also occurred to me that with the number of folks coming in for RadFest, this also might have been a consequence of that. You had, I'm going to guess, 3,000 people come in for RadFest. Is that spot on?
It might be slightly high. There were 1,200 registered riders, but then also friends, family, and the event staff. So probably close to 2,000.
So think about all those people who they all need some place to stay. Maybe they need bike gear. Joe, I imagine you might have been busy that weekend.
It was insane.
Yeah. So they're searching for things, and our website is showing up with directory listings, and so they're landing on it. So that might have been the cause for that lead too. And if I went back into analytics And maybe I saw a spike right before the, within the week before the event that would tell me for sure. Let's get to this. I just thought this was interesting. I like knowing that we can show that lodging is being supported, and that shopping is being supported. So, and the events. Okay. And then, you have a question? Yeah, go for it, Chris.
I like the fact that you can see that those are increasing for the lodging and businesses. Is there a way, or we thought about how we can, without just telling them, because then they look at it saying like, "I go away," and how we can help them realize where that's coming from, or a contest or something. I don't know, drawing. I don't know.
Yes, I'm laughing, but I'm not really laughing because that is the big question always. And we tried multiple things. So we created the ACE presentation, right? This is what tourism does for you. Here's the money that you're saving because of tourism. Well, did that do anything? Did that hit home? Do we do a continuous stream on Facebook? Like, hey, lodging was up this amount, because of these events. Like, thank you to RAD for bringing your events to Trinidad. It's a program that we could develop, but we have to remain consistent. And I have not yet figured out the magic formula, because this is an issue with every DMO that I work with. I do have a client where we are consciously shifting the Facebook messaging to be community facing, and the change has been she's not getting negative comments in her feed anymore, but she's not getting praised. But we'll take the win.
Yeah.
So I guess to answer your question is, Blueprint is an attempt to get this started, but I think this is a larger conversation that we need to set aside time to really make a plan on how to educate locals on the benefits of tourism, how to effectively reach them, what's the verbiage, what's the content. And I'm going off I'm going a little off topic here, but
brainstorming with yourself, I guess.
it's okay. I just did some videos from the state. The state has these two, they have a long form and a short form video of tourism in the state and why it's great for locals. But it's very high level. It's high level by it's for the state. And it's not going to translate to a small town.
Right.
And the idea was the CT would sell us these videos and we could put brought to you by Trinidad at the end. But it didn't relate, putting Trinidad on the end, would mean nothing because those numbers, the statewide numbers don't mean anything to your local community, right?
Right. With some kind of a contest or, I don't know. I see a lot of contests on Facebook.
Well, it depends what your goals are. If your goals are to either educate people on the benefits of tourism or to share what the lodging tax board is doing or what the tourism board is doing to bring folks in, I don't know that a contest would accomplish that. I just think effective campaigns and messaging is what we need to do, and you need to be consistent, and you need to be in the channels that they're in. But you also have to open a an opportunity for dialogue. Like, I bet you some of these folks are frustrated because maybe they feel like they're not being heard, where we are hearing them and we're trying to bring folks in, but there's a disconnect, right? Of like, we're hearing you, we're trying, but you don't feel like we're trying.
Yeah, I was wondering if Skateland knows that we have a paid app for them, because I know she's been one person who does not feel supported by the city in general. So that's a good example of that, for sure.
Yeah. So setting up this marketing support form is an attempt at that. But we need to get people to know it's out there, because once we get it, we like reply, we do all the things.
Well, you answered my question, and I agree that it's going to take a deeper, longer discussion to get somewhere.
It's huge. And I'm stumbling because this is challenging with every DMO that I work with. And I know it's challenging with every DMO that I don't work with. It's very, very common. And if anybody had a clear answer, it would be a problem across the board. I would love to figure it out, right?
Yes, we can think a lot of it.
We can replicate it and help communication across the state. But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling. But Chris, it's an excellent question and something I think about a lot. And if it's something we really want to focus on, then I think we set some time aside and really have a solid brainstorming session. And
Okay. Thank you for the answer.
Of course. Okay. And just an update on some tasks that we're working on. Most of the items from our 24 budget are complete. So it's really just wrapping up for the rest of the year. We were going to do a social co-op with the CTO. Last year it was a $500 match, so that's what we put aside. The increase to $1,500, and so after having done the summer social co-op and not being thrilled with it, we decided just to shelve this $500 and save it for next year. We have Jeff Montoya who's putting a video together, a promo video. I was hoping to have it at the end of September. It's now the end of October. And the reason for the delay is that he just keeps going out and shooting more stuff. Like each time I touch base with him, I'm like, hey, do we have an ETA on the video? And he's like, I was, but now I want to go shoot this and shoot this. And I'm like, go for it, because we're going to get all this B-roll. And there's no reason that we're not in a rush to get this promo video. So if he's just going to continue shooting more content that's going to end up in our media library, I'm fine with it. End of October, though, is the newest date that we'll have this promo video. We are getting events submitted through the events forum, which is great. This is kind of some notes from Marty. She's shutting down some services with the Bluehost account because now she's over with us, so she's working through that. We worked with the RadFest. Success? Is RadFest a success this year? Thumbs up?
Yeah, I think so. I know lodging was slammed, restaurants were slammed. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. And how was the pub crawl, Jason? Were folks into it? Did it get some good traffic?
Yeah, that was definitely good. They did the pub crawl 2 years ago, and I think that was great. And then last year they did not do it, and I feel like at least the hospitality, restaurant, bar type business didn't really see anyone from the rad around town, so they didn't really feel the impact. And they did it again this year, and everyone I talked to felt it. So I think it was very beneficial for the community to do that. Just give them a reason to go and visit some local establishments. So yeah, hopefully they keep that up, because it was great.
I'm so glad. The marketing match grant application was submitted. I think that was submitted after our last meeting, so forgive me if I'm repeating that. awards are announced on the 25th, so we've got 2 more weeks. We pitched the Well Hotel to one calls about what's new in winter, and so it was included in the CTO press release. Those go out to their full network, so that's a great win. And yeah, sure. And this is just a note about this value of tourism video. So Andrew, who was the previous destination development director for the CTO, had mentioned these to us at the beginning of the year. It was a small investment to get these videos, so we put some money aside. And I reached out to them in the last month, and I was like, and Andrew has since left, and Hillary is now taking his spot. And I was like, Hillary, do you know about these videos? She's like, oh yeah. And I think that they like scrambled and found them and put them together. It sounds like I was the first person to ask for them. And these are those videos I was telling you about where it's kind of championing the value of tourism, but it was at the state level. And after watching them, and if you're curious, you can click on this link here and watch the video. It's on the form. They're good videos, but they're not gonna speak to your local audience. Like it's, your local audience doesn't care that Breckenridge is doing really well, right? That doesn't mean anything to them. So we talked, to your point earlier, Chris, like one thing Marty and I talked about is we have all of our figures. We could create our own video about Trinidad specifically and what tourism does to help Trinidad. And how supporting tourism locally can help grow those numbers and bring more folks to patronize businesses and fill up the hotels. And so just something to think about for next year as we kind of put some money aside, some unspent money this year. We can maybe create something like that and then share it on Facebook. Maybe even make it into like a real format so that it fits well in that space. That's it. That's everything I got. Does anybody have any questions, requests, dreams, wishes? I'm here for you. You guys.
I can't tell you all of mine.
I had a couple of quick things. I still need to go through the website completely. I've been totally slacking on that. I don't know if anyone else has provided any notes, but I'm just going to reiterate that. I have something in our miscellaneous portion later to bring up in relation, but go through the website, send it over to Lindsay, and she'll get it to the team. But one thing I just noticed when I was clicking around on there, Lindsay, is the photo contest webpage is still live. We probably want to just go ahead and hide it from the main page. It does say winners will be announced on there. I know we did that on social, so I don't know if we need to do it on the website as well. We can probably just go ahead and take it off the menu and save it if we want to do it next year or something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then more broadly speaking, should we start looking ahead to 25 in terms of getting any renewal details from your team for us to bring out to the city and to discuss internally, setting our budget, any kind of planning meeting, that type of stuff, as we're kind of chugging through Q4 here?
Yeah, 100%. So Brian should have reached out a renewal of our contract in 2025. I'll check in with him and who's the best contact for that?
Ashley right there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the city level, it's still going to be Marty for now. I don't know if they're actively hiring that tourism manager role or not. I have yet to see it posted. So she's still a liaison for you guys, but we are not really interacting with her at the moment. So I just want to make sure it gets down to the board as well, so we can take a look at
You can send
what you
it
guys
to
are
me.
proposing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do communicate with Marty
Cool.
occasionally because she still has
Okay.
information.
Well, Marty had asked me if you had brought it up, renewal, so there may be some miscommunication about who's responsible for handling the renewal?
Sure.
Um,
It'll be a board recommendation, and then ultimately the city has to sign it. So we have kind of kicked it around amongst the board. I think overall our consensus is to renew. So just any details you guys do have, kick it to Ashley, and we'll put it on our next agenda.
Fantastic. Yeah, and then what I would love to have, I guess maybe I need to wait until that contract is renewed, but part of my job is to plan your 2025 marketing budget, and I tend to do that around this time of year. So as soon as you know what your 2025 marketing budget is, what I do is I break it down. You know, whatever amount it is, I can work with anything. I maximize every dollar, right? Like I don't just throw spaghetti at the wall, if you will. But I'll divide it up into different deliverables, and I'll recommend ad spend, just so that we go into 2025 with a super clear plan on how every dollar is going to be spent.
That sounds great. Yeah, we have been doing our budgeting for next year as well. Actually, I think it's still on today's agenda too.
Yes.
This was flat, right? Same number for. Oh, it went down. Gotcha. Yeah, we'll probably have a slight decrease overall, but we should have those numbers for you to start digging in on in terms of the overall budget.
Yeah, it still has to go through a couple of steps of approval as well.
That's no problem. Like I said, whatever budget we have to work with, we make really smart decisions about where each dollar goes, and we can work with any size for sure.
Yeah, there's also still a chance that we get our tax increase, so that'll hinge on ballot results
We'll
next
know
month.
more next month.
Yeah, a few weeks away.
Any other questions? I have one thing. So we were talking about Winterfest and trying to seek sponsorships. Amanda Korth was asking if maybe you guys had a sponsorship packet template that we could utilize for that to send out to our business partners.
I'll have to look in my files. I don't know that I've used one recently, but if we don't, I can create one for you. That's not a problem.
That would be great.
And I can, Ashley, if that's something maybe you and I partner with, and you just kind of let me know what sort of information you want from sponsors, we can put a form together for you. And we can make it a digital form. We could, whatever it is that you need, that's fine.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, so just reach out to me separately. I'll make a note to look, but just email me separately, and we'll get something going.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Of course.
That's all I have. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I have just an update, kind of more on a personal level here. So we've gotten some good news over the last couple weeks, and I think finally, after all this time, we are going to be opening the hotel within the next 2 weeks. We have one final inspection to get done, which we believe will be done by Monday. I'll be making a more public announcement by then, but just giving a heads up to Lindsay as well as everyone else. We'll probably have a community invite. We're thinking possibly the 24th, like 2 weeks from today, just to bring everyone in and kind of show them what we've been working on before we open to the public the next day. So I'll be sharing more on that as everything comes in, but we've got all the challenging stuff done, and yeah, we should be seeing a new hotel in Trinidad here very soon. So that's exciting for me at least.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
All right.
Congratulations.
I think that's.
I'll be doing a request just for like a social media post or something, Lindsay, once I get some photos, things
No
in.
worries. Hey, Jason,
So I'll just go
we
through
probably
the
shouldn't
ones
talk
here.
about that in this meeting, Jason.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, Jason?
Hurry, go now to get Trump.
Hey, Chris.
Chris, you gotta mute.
Chris, mute, my friend.
3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a
Can you mute him? Yeah, you'll have to mute him because he didn't get it.
Chris, we got some road noise from you too. If you're able to mute your mic.
We got you. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions or requests, I'm gonna jump off.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Appreciate your
Lindsay.
time.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, next on the agenda is the budget. So here's where we're gonna vote on whether or not we wanna adopt this and send it on. Real quickly, let me just go over it for anyone who is not familiar with it. The projected lodging tax revenue for the year of 2025 is $400,000. 35% of that is put aside for sustainable tourism marketing, including advertising and attracting conferences, conventions, capital expenditures, and meetings. Under that $140,000, $60,000 of that was earmarked for it's a DIQ, so their contract. Raton Visitor Guide is $705 for the year. The Architectural Walking Tour is $348. We are doing a year of radio advertising for $6,000. The kiosks are under contract for 2 more years for $4,000. We're going to do an Alpha Maps. We would like to do an Alpha Maps subscription for $1,000. And for anyone who doesn't know what Alpha Maps is, I'm speaking to public, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Alpha Maps will help us track location as it's like your phone tells Google where you were, and we can track and see if we have an event, how many people were in town for that with Alpha Maps. And then the rest, that totaling $67,947 will be earmarked for marketing expenses and will go for our DIQ budget. 20% of the $400,000 at $80,000 is put aside for personnel and expenses related to tourism, including but not limited to the Welcome Center and a Convention and Visitors Bureau. So the Welcome Center on Arizona and the little Visitor Center on Main Street. That is the entire $80,000 goes to a portion of the wages for everyone that works there. The rest of that is funded through the general fund. So we put in portion and the city puts in more from the general fund. So our portion of that is $80,000. That just covers pay. 30%, totaling $120,000, is put aside for maintenance, improvement, and development of recreational facilities and programs. Under this, we have the Santa Fe Trail Days. $30,000 is earmarked to help pay for that. Winterfest, $15,000 is earmarked to pay for that. And the rest, we have $75,000 for trails and recreational development projects throughout the year. 10% at $40,000 is for support of art and cultural events, programs, and facilities. This entire $40,000 is being put into a pot for event funding awarded via qualifying application process. Each application will be sent to the board for decisions. $40,000 is what we will have to distribute next year. 5%, $20,000, and the last bit in this is for any of the above purposes or other purposes related to the impacts of tourism as the city council may determine. So under this heading, we have our membership in Tour Colorado. Tour Colorado is an organization that facilitates between us and bus companies. We have $300 earmarked for the website hosting, $5,000 for training and travel, and $5,000 for trolley fuel and maintenance. The remainder of that is $9,250, and that will be used as approved throughout the year. That is the budget for the 2025 fiscal year for the Lodging Tax Advisory Board. That will be submitted to the Lodging Tax Advisory Board Committee and then on to City Council. Any questions about that? No? All right. So does someone want to move that we adopt that budget and pass it along?
Yeah, I'll motion to approve the budget as it stands and to submit for final approval.
And I need a second.
Second.
All in
Second.
favor? All in favor
Aye.
of submitting this budget for approval? Say aye.
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 Thank you, Chris. All right, that's it for that portion. Now we'll just submit that. Next up is decision matrix exercise. Amanda is not able to accompany us today. So we don't have anything for this, and I totally forgot when we approved the agenda. So if it's okay, I will just add this item to the next agenda, if everybody's okay with that.
All good by me?
All right. Next agenda. All right. That's it for old business. Under new business, the only thing that I have was Mr. Nicholas Mason asked to speak to us today, and we're going to grab him right now, so give us just a moment. I thought he had an ice cream. I was say, bring me an ice cream.
I don't think you want that flavor.
No. Not unless it has some of that other stuff.
You're up.
Okay. I know I recognize it. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
How are you, man?
Come
Good.
on in. Nice to meet you. Have a couple of them there.
Okay. I'm Nick Mason. I'm the city planner. So I reached out to Ashley to get on the agenda just because I had kind of an interesting email sent my way, I don't know, a couple months ago or so, and or maybe about a month ago, and it was about a movie. There's a movie film company that is interested in shooting their film here in Trinidad. They were asking for some stuff, and honestly, I'm kind of out of my realm. It was kind of handed from me from the past city manager, so I thought it was a good chance for you guys as a tourism board, or acting as a tourism board, to maybe help out and help facilitate this company and helping their needs and everything like that. So I have some handouts. Sorry, I didn't realize I could send it beforehand.
I'll scan it in.
But so they so first she has their requests kinda, and it's tough because they've been asking for quite a bit of stuff that the city actually doesn't own.
Chris, can you please mute? Thank you.
We got
Funeral cars, funeral home, stuff like that. But I was hoping maybe you guys could help facilitate them. There's only 2 funeral homes in town, so yeah, there's one right now.
I'm already eyeballing him.
Yeah. Some other things, some cars and stuff. I believe on the second page, Allison England has been helping drive this as well. So I don't know if you guys remember Allison. She's
I do know Alan.
former citizen here and great person. Used to help us out quite a bit. So
I have a question. I have a connection at Phil Long.
yeah, so she helped facilitate some of the conversation with Phil Long as well, to provide cars and stuff like that. Other stuff, the sheriff's office, I think the city could help. I don't know. I know the sheriff pretty well, so stuff like that. But this is just kind of their list in black, and then the city's response. One thing is they've been asking about a lake. That's a little tough. We do have a city does actually own a lake and all that, but it's under lease. So I've been talking to, and hopefully once he gets on board, the manager of Monument Lake, to maybe they could shoot out there. So they're shooting for, I think it was like end of February, early March. Kind of weird because the movie takes place in July, and we all know our weather's a little different in March than it is in July. So it's a little different than I'm sure California is as well. So I think this company is coming out of Los Angeles. So you can look through their list there and what Allison had. I haven't done too much. I will say the only thing is, the Chamber of Commerce has been looped in as well. So Pat Howlett, he's been looped in. Try to help facilitate this and hopefully, get a movie shot here in Trinidad. I think it's a great opportunity for everyone. One thing I will note is the city doesn't have funds for actually assisting them and anything as far as money wise goes. There's no money for it, so we don't have, that's not in the budget.
So my question then becomes, so this production company is not offering to give us any kind of compensation for
No,
any
not
of
at all.
this?
Not at all.
Do we know
So
how-
what is the benefit for us then?
Just that there's a movie shot here in Trinidad, and we help them as best as we can.
Well, presumably, they're bringing their production company to town, so they'll be spending money and staying. I don't know how large of a production it is. I'd be curious about that.
Yeah, I think they were looking for 25 hotel rooms, and those were also, they talked to St. Michael's, so I think they were also looking to get those done. So for free.
Yeah.
So it is. It's not like a major Hollywood movie. It is definitely like a B-rated movie.
Yep.
But it is still nice to see Trinidad's open to this. Allison really wants people to see the beauty of Trinidad, and we do have a lot of that to offer. That's for sure. But
Let me ask you, what do you think the odds are that people will volunteer or let us do this for free?
I'm sorry. I couldn't.
What do you think the odds are that we might get some of these things without a cost?
I have no clue. And it's not a cost. I think as long as we make that connection, hey, you want to shoot a funeral home? We have two. You can talk to them both and see which one's most cost effective for you. But just help facilitating that. Just because, I'm a little out of my realm with that one. So, and once hopefully the person that manages Monument Lake, once they get looped in, if he's willing, we could offer the lake as well. It's hard because a lot of stuff is private. He's invested into it as well, so he's not going to really want to do that unless he's going to compensate it for some of his private stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a opportunity that came to my email, and I was extending it to you, looking for help more than anything, actually.
I can see what we can do. Maybe I'll ask Miss Cheryl if we have anything.
Yeah, and I mean, they ask for ambulances. I could talk to fire chief, city fire chief, and he has contacts obviously out there. We could try
We
some
might
of
be
those
able
ones.
to squeeze out some of this with no cost.
Yeah.
If we play it right, be like, listen, it's for the good of everyone.
And
But
my next step would probably be to have them get in touch with probably Ashley or whoever you want to designate, just to help facilitate what their actual needs are. I haven't played back and forth with them too much. I've just kind of been like, oh, what can we help you with? And then they sent me the list, and then I was like, oh, this is a lot. City doesn't own a funeral home. So, but facilitating it, and I know they'll be looking for talent as far as actors and stuff like that. So,
a wood cabin in the woods.
very much cabin in the woods, and hopefully,
That's a wood cabin.
once I loop everyone, or once they get looped in, they send me their deck or whatever, their pitch deck. Very much cabin in the woods. Very much slasher. Looks fine enough.
Okay.
Cool.
It's like a horror movie.
It's definitely a horror movie. Yeah, it's a slasher.
Okay.
So my gut would tell me they're probably shooting for next October to get it released.
All right. That's cool. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wish that we had an economic development office at the city still, because this would be a job for them for sure. Obviously, whatever we can do. I don't think our budget will accommodate supplementing any of this either. And I mean, I'd like to see more of a return than just a credit that says filmed in Trinidad, you know? Yeah, if it was my business, like none of this applies to me, but if it was mine, I would not be that inclined to bend over backwards for these guys personally. That's just my opinion. But it'd be cool if they shoot it, for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I think it's just the city as a whole trying to offer as much as we can without saying, you know, without being burdened, really. So.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's very
If you,
interesting.
whoever you want to have designate, reach out to me. I'll loop you in with the people I've been discussing, and you
You
know.
can just connect them with me. If
You
you want.
okay?
Yeah.
That'll work.
Or unless you want to do it. I don't think so.
Get your foot.
I don't know that Jason would have time.
You want to get your foot in the, who wants to get their foot in the film industry?
Right.
I do not need a film industry, but I feel like I could help. So,
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
no,
Thanks,
thank
Nicholas.
you. That's it on that one. Next up, miscellaneous.
I have
What
miscellaneous.
you got?
Some of y'all may have seen, well, Ashley, I know you were out distributing the visitors guides. I just want to call everyone on the board out, and myself included, for not reviewing that content well enough. We let Marty run with it, and there's some outright inaccuracies in there. There's a lot of things that are missing, and I mean, you can't cover everything in a single document. And there's always going to be some people who feel slighted or don't feel that it represents the town in the right way or something. But this thing just blew up immediately. So there's people all over Facebook pretty much ripping it to shreds. It's not great. It's not a great look for our board. It's not a great look for the city. So just something that we could have done better on. So I'm holding myself to that as well. That's why I brought up the website again earlier. I know I've kind of kicked that can a number of times. We should all just dig in and do the work. Make sure that we review it. So, you know, a couple things specifically with the visitor's guide. It says Tony Hawk designed the skate park. It's not true. Common misconception. I think most of us know that's not true. There are businesses in there that haven't existed since before we were even reviewing it. Like Wisteria is in there. That's been closed since well before that went to print. Should never have been included. Like someone else could have gotten that spot. So I don't know when we'll have a chance to revise that again. It'll probably be a while before we blow through all the copies. We can revise the restaurant guide insert, so it could be worth taking a peek at that. But in the meantime, let's just make sure we get the website really all nice and accurate and up to date. That is all.
Okay, yeah. One thing to note just from the tourism conference is, like in their very initial kickoff, they were recommending getting rid of print guides like this, and the whole event was sustainable. There was zero print, zero paper of any kind out, and they said they were recommending that down to, each municipality for whatever's worth. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would not necessarily be opposed to taking that budget and spending it elsewhere next time we do need a reprint. But mostly a call out for whatever projects are hitting our desk. I know we're all super busy, but we're here for a reason, right? So let's make ourselves and the whole city look good.
Well, the good thing is the online version can definitely be updated, and it should be. So if we can get those corrections.
Oh, the downloadable one.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because
Yeah.
that is one of our call to actions through the website, is to fill out a form to download it. So yeah, worth doing some edits there. Yeah.
You can definitely edit the one that's online. going completely online is a great idea. I don't know that it would work for Trinidad. Not like visitors to Trinidad, but like Trinidadians. I feel like they would want a copy of it. And they would
Not for them, though.
I know. Tell them that. I
Very
feel like it's their, they're citizens. They have ownership of that. It's just, there was an email sent about some things that were left out, and Marty forwarded it to me. I don't know if can I distribute that to the group through you, maybe?
Send it to me and then,
You can send it to them, because I can't directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
no, I could do that for you.
I'll send it
And
to
then
Miss
just-
Kim and have her send it to you guys. But it was just someone was upset because something was left out. And Marty was just responding saying we can definitely fix the online version. All that good stuff. So I'll get that sent out to you guys too. Any other miscellaneous from you? You guys have anything else? No? I just saw something here. The Chamber of Commerce has reached out. I will be putting the president on the next agenda to come and speak with us. He did send me an email. Just wanting to come and talk to us today, and I told him because he wasn't on the agenda I couldn't have him come talk to us today, but I did offer him to put it on the other one, the next one. So he'll come and talk to us about some concerns that his group has. Other than that, that's all I have. Just, it's really messy right now. It's been a mess. Anything else? Next agenda. So far, I would like to put on there about a discussion of a work session with DIQ. We can talk about when we could do that and what we would like to discuss. The next agenda will also have the Chamber of Commerce, Pat Howlett, on there. I'll put the decision matrix exercise on there too, and I swear I'll try to remember to bring one of the old applications we had so we can go through that. It's like a mock run. Anything else for the next agenda?
Part of me feels like we should have Winterfest as just keep it an old business, like ongoing, and if we don't have updates, so be it, but I don't know how hands-on we'll be as a board with that, but
I don't even have a definitive answer from council.
sure, but just keep it in the back of our minds because it's going to come up really fast.
Yes. Okay. Anything else, you guys? No? Now I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
In a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
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 All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Aye.